Welcome back to the Digital Den podcast. I'm your host for this afternoon, Lucas Alcorn, and today we are gathered once again with Mr. Phillips for his weekly newsletter. Let's all have a round of applause for Mr. Phillips.
There we go. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you. Glad to be back, man. Love it.
Glad to have you back, sir. This week we had a situation regarding social media. Could you brag to our community how quickly it was dealt with and taken care of?
For sure. I can't commend our community and our students enough. I was actually here for a soccer game. We were in the second half. Our boys were playing Woodford County, and I noticed my phone started. I had it on vibrate, but it kept going off. So I try not to check it when but I was like, something's wrong here. So started receiving messages from parents, from teachers where students had reached out to them about a situation, about a picture that was posted online. It was posted on our high school Instagram page. I come up to the front office and we knew where it came from. So I contacted first I called our police chief. He was in the Dominican Republic on a vacation, but he did answer, which was pretty cool. But he said, hey, look, let me get you the information of the guys that are working and the major that you need to talk to. Within 5 minutes, a police officer was here. Within 10 minutes, we had a backup officer. They took the situation from there, and it was handled accordingly. My goal as the principal is to make sure that all of our kids are safe when they are on campus, and I try to keep you safe when you're off campus too. Sometimes I can't control that, but I can't commend you all enough as students. I mean, the amount of kids, I keep telling everybody to ask me about it. Within a 15-minute period, I had 76 text messages on my phone personally, and that a lot of that was from teachers. That they had been multiple students had reached out to them. So the fact that we have a culture here where kids, they know that it's safe to go and report things that they see or they hear, that kind of made my night, really. I know it's a bad situation, but such good stuff came out of that because we understand that, hey, you all do have a place here where you know that you can trust somebody to tell if you see something or hear something wrong. So we're gonna support that family, and we're gonna do what we need to do as a community. But I just can't thank our student body and our teachers and our parents enough for reaching out and making sure that the next morning when you all arrived, we wanted it to be a safe place. So we had some extra resource officers here, extra police officers. They kind of patrolled the building yesterday, just making sure that you all could come in here and have a place to be, and where y'all didn't have to worry about that stuff. Let us worry about that kind of stuff. You all come in here and learn and do what you need to do. So great job by the community, great job by the students. Handled that situation really well, I thought. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We definitely felt the presence coming into school yesterday. Moving along to our academic portion, on Tuesday our students had a CERT test. Can you tell us a little bit about how that went, sir?
Yeah, so CERT's a new test. A lot of you all at the middle school level took MAP testing 3 times a year, and it's a way for us to just kind of track where you're at, how we can provide services for kids, and who needs extra help or who's accelerated and things like that. Here at the high school, last year we implemented what's called the CERT test. So it's kind of the same thing, but CERT ties directly into the ACT. So you take it, it's timed like the ACT, it's the same amount of questions as the ACT. So everything it does is geared towards when you're a junior, because when you're a junior with us in the spring, it's the first Tuesday of March every year. We do a statewide ACT. So every junior in the state takes the ACT on that first Tuesday of March. So one thing that I had noticed when I became principal here was, with MAP testing, there's no timing, there's no anything like. So we would have kids that would spend 5 hours on just a math portion, wow. Or 4 hours on the reading portion, and that's not what. So we were cutting those kids short because a big part of the ACT is understanding the time and understanding what that looks like. So the CERT test, we feel, is a huge leap for us because it's going to tie in when you come in as a freshman. That score is really relative too, right? Like we know that a lot of people know if I get 18 on the ACT, I know what that means, or I know what it takes to get into a certain college that I want to go to. So I think making kids familiar with that score and how that works and how that test is timed is great. So we lock our school down basically 9 through 11, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. All take that test. We do it 3 times a year. And it just allows us to kind of see where you're all at, and allows you all to really get the feel of what that ACT is going to be like when you become a junior. And you can take it as a senior too, but we feel that's going to be a big benefit. We felt like we saw a lot of effort from our kids on Tuesday. A lot of our teachers I've been sitting down with them in some PLC meetings, and they've commended you all on your effort. Have very few kids that they felt like didn't try. So that's a good thing. That's another thing. It's a part of your culture and your building. Like, we got to take those things serious, and kids do that. So we thought it went well. We'll do it again later on in the year. Kind of lets us know where we stand a little bit.
That's awesome to hear. On Tuesday of this week, we saw that you met with our judge executive, Scott Travis, to discuss opportunities for our students to begin working in the departments of local government.
Yes.
Could you expand on that?
Loved it. So I made him. I'm not much on pictures and social media, but I told him, we got to take a picture and get this out, because I think just making those connections, just opening those doors, because we know our job here is to prepare you all for that next step, right? And the better job we do of that, the better that is for us as I get older, right? Like, you're going to step into these shoes, and you all are going to do these jobs. And so we met with him on Tuesday. It went fabulous. I commend our new college and career coach, Miss Clyde. Cindy Clyde set that up. So her and myself, Mr. Rucker, our director of student services, we all met over there for about an hour, and we're going to work on some things and try to build in some co-op opportunities and some internships with. We're going to do, we're looking at EMT. We're looking at the animal shelter. We're looking at the parks and recreation. We're looking at our county road crew, our county maintenance crew. Just there in the county attorney's office, they want somebody in there to help do the things. Somebody that's interested in government and things like that. So I think the doors that this is going to open for our students and our community are huge, because we do live in a small place. So it's kind of hard sometimes to find those opportunities. We don't have a lot of industry here where kids can go in and get a job in industrial maintenance. They have to travel outside. So we got to take advantage of those opportunities that we have. So I want to thank, Mr. Travis. He had us in, and he's a guy that's lived here his whole life. I've known him forever, but just getting able to sit down and us being around the same table and having the same discussions and seeing their interest in having you all, they are really, really excited to get our kids in these roles. That's a win-win for everybody. So great meeting, great conversation. I think they're taking some stuff they have a meeting Wednesday night with the county to get some stuff approved, because there are some age limit things in there for insurance reasons and things like that. We got to get through a few hurdles there, but that's only going to be, and it's going to take us a little bit. So this year's seniors, we're going to try to get in there, but man, as we look forward to our juniors right now and our sophomores, getting those kids into those roles in the next couple of years, really exciting.
That is super exciting to hear. On the sports side, how did this past week go?
First thing, we got football. We played Collins Saturday night. It was a little bit, we got rained out Friday night, or lightning out. I was over there. It wasn't a ton of rain. It was just a lot of lightning in the sky, so we couldn't play. And they came back Saturday. We ended up losing, I think, 34-13. Scored maybe a little wider than what it was. It was 13-13 at half, or 20-13 right at the beginning of the third quarter, and then we just didn't move the ball much in the second half. But I think Coach Marksbury and his staff are on that, and it's been a tough. We got a tough schedule here with those guys. They got their first 3 or 4 games are pretty tough, but that only make them better as the season moves on. I think soccer this week played. I think they got a couple losses, boys and girls, but they played some really, really high-level teams. I think Woodford County. That's when the incident happened on Tuesday night. I was here watching our boys play Woodford County. I think they ended up losing 1-0. The girls lost, I know, a tough one the other night to Louisville Collegiate, who's always ranked pretty high in the state. So I think they had a good week, not showing on the record side, but I think they were really, really competitive with some really good teams. So those teams continue to move in the right direction. I think volleyball was in a tough one last night at Anderson County. Ended up maybe losing in the last set. I was not there for that. That was over at Anderson County, so I didn't get to attend that. But I've heard this morning that was a really competitive game. And our boys golf team, they're really, really rolling as a team. So golf's a little tricky. You play it as a team and as an individual. So when I used to coach golf, so it was always really kind of trying to put that together and get kids to understand, you're playing. You got 5 of you playing for Spencer County High School, but you're also playing for an individual score too. So our team side scores are continuing to drop. Coach Cruz has got those kids. We're probably 3 or 4 weeks away from their region tournament, and they're starting to get there, which is a lot of sports is about timing, playing your best ball at the right time. So I think he's getting them there. And Seth Shelley, one of our top golfers. He's a senior. I mean, that kid, it's nothing for him to go and shoot 2 or 3 under par. He does he is a heck of a golfer. So I'm interested to see how he does at region and at state when he gets there. He could have a really big year to finish out his career. I think they're actually going to sit down with you all maybe next week. Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think Coach Cruz and Seth Scheller are coming in to do a little bit of a golf, like a coach's podcast, kind of like we've been doing with football. I think he's our next coach to get in here, and we're going to get them all in here at some point. We want y'all to sit down with all of them and talk to them and get them out there so people can meet them and understand what they do. And so they've had a really good start. I don't know if cross country, I think they had a meet Saturday. I'm not quite sure how they did, to be honest with you. I'll have to get the information on that. But yeah, all the sports teams across the board doing really well. They represent us well, coaches and students and parents, and we're really excited to see where they go for the rest of the season.
They're definitely putting in that work.
Yep.
Sports this weekend, we have a couple announcements. Today, our boys soccer travel to Atherton, and our girls soccer travel to Whitfield Academy. Also today, our JV golf team has a home match at Tanglewood against Collins at 4 o'clock p.m. Tomorrow, our football team has their home opener against South Oldham. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. And on Saturday, our cross-country team competes at Shelby County Invite at 9 o'clock a.m. We're getting ready to start our club schedule next week. Is there anything our students or parents should be aware of for these clubs?
Yeah, so clubs are a little different this year. Every kid has to participate in some type of club. When we're also in clubs, we're doing study halls there too. So if a kid doesn't necessarily want to do a club and they say they want a math study hall, they can sign up for that. We have sign-ups ongoing right now. We're doing that through our advisory period. So I encourage kids, if you listen to this, or parents, talk to your child about making sure they get in the right spot. We'll have every Friday, we'll rotate and do those clubs for 30 minutes during the day. And we have all kinds of really cool stuff going on. I was just at a meeting a while ago. We were talking about some of the clubs and the kids. We've had about 600 kids sign up already. So a lot of our kids, but like we're offering a sign language club where kids can start to learn sign language. We have our traditional clubs like FFA and NHS, and so we got a lot of new cool stuff too. We're doing we got a teacher doing a yoga club that's just going to teach like breathing and things like that. So I encouraged all of our teachers that they had to take on a club or a study hall. I think that time's valuable for kids and teachers to be able to just build relationships. It's not about, you don't have to worry about doing math or science or English or social studies. You can just go, and if you want to do sign language, you can work on sign language. It's one of them things. So it's allowing kids to get in something they're interested in. So we hope that just helps drive their experience, a better experience for the child here. So our teachers have really embraced it. It's taken us, it's a lot to get off the ground because we haven't done it, and getting all that time when you're trying to get 1,000 kids in 1,000 different places at one time. It's a little bit of a logistical nightmare. We've been working on it for 2 months now, and I feel like we're not getting anywhere with it. But we're going to build our roster. Some of our rosters tomorrow. You all are out tomorrow. You all don't have to come to school, but teachers will be here working on some stuff, and we're going to spend a little bit of time on just building those rosters and making sure we got all of our I's, our I's dotted and our T's crossed. So excited for that. It'll start next week. I believe next Friday is when that starts. So if you're a student out there listening, make sure that you get on that Google form and fill out what clubs you want to be in or what study halls, because that's going to be a valuable time for you. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Make sure that y'all get on that.
Yep.
Announcements, too, is that fall pictures for juniors, sophomores, and freshmen will be Friday, September 15th. Anyone interested in taking the PSAT on October 17th need to register in our counselor's office.
Today.
The cost is going to be $18.
Today.
The library is selling sleeves to help protect their Chromebooks. The cost is $15 if interested. Reminder that students will not have to come to school tomorrow, September 1st, and Monday, September 4th. So is there anything that you would like to say for our viewers
a couple
on
things.
Labor Day?
Yeah, also ACT coming up for seniors. That date is October the 2nd. We are going to have a Google form posted on our senior page. That's something the state's offering free. So if you're a student or you're a parent of a student listening to this and your child wants to take that ACT, make sure they get on that Google form and sign up by September 22nd. That's that'll give us time. It'll give us about a week to logistically plan for that and get kids to where they need to be. Whether we do it in the library, a lot of that's going to depend on how many kids that want to take it. So make sure that we're doing that. Make sure if you're a senior, you get signed up for that. And if you're considering college, it does not hurt you to take it. You need to take it. If you and I don't care if you've already taken it and scored whatever you want, it doesn't hurt you at all. So I would highly encourage to sign up for that.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Mr. Phillips.
Thank
and
you.
once again, this has been Lucas Alcorn. Remember to follow us at digitalden.schs if you're on Instagram, and then like and subscribe if you're on Face or on YouTube. Everybody have a safe weekend, and this is me signing off.
Awesome.